Hello and welcome. Have you ever wondered how AI can transform complex business data into clear, actionable decisions? Today, we will demystify PalmAI services, moving from core principles to practical examples that solve real-world leadership challenges. Ready to see how this empowers your team? Let us look at our agenda. Let's look at our agenda. We'll focus on Lesson 1, the PalmAI service overview and strategic advantages. How can this technology drive your business growth? We'll first explain the core logic, then look at real-world examples to see how it builds your competitive edge. Let's begin. Good morning, everyone. Now that we have seen the general roadmap, let us dive into the core of our session, the PalmAI service overview and its strategic advantages. As leaders in your respective fields, you recognize that identifying a person, whether they are a customer or an employee, should not be a point of friction. It should be an invisible, seamless bridge. Have you ever noticed how often traditional security measures actually slow down your business operations? We are here today to talk about a fundamental shift in how we verify identity. Why are we focusing specifically on the palm? Think of it this way. While fingerprints can be faint or easily damaged, and faces can be obscured by lighting or accessories, your palm is a high-definition map of identity. Our technology uses a dual-modal approach. This simply means it looks at two things at once: the visible lines on the surface and the unique vein patterns hidden underneath. It is like having two different locks that both require the same key. This ensures that even in a massive database of millions, the system can find the right person instantly and with incredible accuracy. For a large-scale enterprise, the real value lies in how this scales. Whether you are managing a busy transportation hub or a national retail chain, you need speed without sacrificing safety. Imagine a world where your customers do not need to carry a wallet or even a phone to make a purchase or enter a secure area. They just use their hand. This is not just a convenience, it is a strategic asset that builds trust and streamlines the entire user experience. In this section, we will break down how this works and why it outperforms everything we have used in the past. To start, we need to look at why our current methods are no longer enough. Let us move on to discuss the limitations of today's technology and why we have hit what I call the convenience ceiling. Now that we have explored the strategic framework of PalmAI, let us take a step back and look at the reality of the tools we use today. We often hear that technology makes life easier, but in practice, many current systems have hit what I call a convenience ceiling. This is the point where the tool itself starts creating more friction than it solves. It is the invisible limit where the user experience stops being seamless and starts being a chore. Think about the last time you used a shared fingerprint scanner or a touchscreen in a public lobby. Even before the global health shifts of recent years, there was always that slight hesitation, was there not? That concern about hygiene and physical contact with shared surfaces is a major psychological barrier. When your employees or customers feel uncomfortable just by touching a device, you have already lost a bit of their trust. This is the friction of contact. Beyond hygiene, there is the issue of physical accessibility. Have you ever noticed how many facial recognition kiosks or card readers are mounted at a standard eye level? This automatically creates a height exclusion. It makes the service nearly impossible to use for children or individuals in wheelchairs without a struggle. In a high-level business context, inclusivity is not just a buzzword. It is about ensuring every single person can interact with your brand seamlessly. Finally, we must consider cultural and personal barriers. Traditional facial recognition often requires people to remove masks, sunglasses, or even religious veils. This forces a choice between following a protocol and maintaining personal dignity or health. Why should a user have to change their appearance to fit a machine's limitations? These gaps represent the ceiling of our current methods. They are operational bottlenecks that limit your digital potential. As we move forward, we need to ask how we can verify identity without these physical and social hurdles. This leads us to a deeper look at the very traits we are trying to measure. Building on what we just discussed regarding the limits of convenience, we need to address a more pressing concern: the inherent security risks of the traits we use most often. Think about your daily routine. You touch a coffee cup, a glass table, or a door handle. Every time you do, you leave behind a physical map of your fingerprint. It is literally a residue that anyone can lift with basic tools. Does it really make sense to use a key that we leave lying around in public places all day? The same logic applies to facial recognition. Our faces are our most public feature. With today's high-resolution cameras, someone could capture your biometric data from across a room without you ever knowing. Unlike a password, You can't simply reset your face if the data is stolen. And as leaders, you are likely aware of the rapid rise of deepfake technology. It is no longer just a movie trick. We are seeing real-time video manipulation and highly accurate 3D masks that can bypass many traditional systems by mimicking the depth and movement of a real human face. The core issue here is that these external traits, fingerprints, and faces, are exposed. They are always visible or always being left behind. If a trait is public, it can be copied. If it can be copied, it can be forged. This creates a significant security gap for any enterprise relying on these methods for high-stakes access or sensitive data protection. So, if these external traits are this vulnerable, where do we go from here? The answer lies in how we interact with the technology. In the next section, we will explore the crucial difference between active and passive identification and why that distinction is the key to true security in the modern workplace. Building on our discussion about the vulnerabilities of external traits like faces or fingerprints, let us talk about how we actually interact with technology. In the world of security, there is a massive difference between being identified passively and choosing to be identified actively. Think about facial recognition for a moment. It is often passive. You walk into a building, a camera sees you, and you are identified without ever needing to change your behavior. While convenient, this creates a sense of losing control. Does the user really want to pay for that coffee or open that door right now? This is where PalmAI takes a fundamentally different approach. We focus on active identification. To use our system, a user must physically stretch out their hand and place it over the sensor. This simple gesture is a powerful signal of intent. It is like the digital version of a physical signature. By requiring this conscious action, we ensure that every single transaction or access request happens only because the user specifically wanted it to. Why is this so important for your business? First, it builds incredible trust. Your customers and employees know that their data is not being scanned in the background while they are just walking by. They are in the driver's seat. Second, it simplifies your regulatory compliance. Because the hand stretch is a clear act of consent, it aligns perfectly with global privacy standards that demand explicit user permission. So, rather than technology watching you from the shadows, PalmAI waits for you to engage with it. It turns a security check into a deliberate choice. Now that we understand this philosophy of active consent, you might be wondering, how does the system actually see and verify the palm?